His success would dispose of the Soviets' claim that their chess hegemony reflected the superiority of their political system. The board was a Cold War arena where the champion of the free world fought for democracy against the apparatchiks of the Soviet socialist machine. Here was the high noon of chess, coming to you from a concrete auditorium in Iceland. Given the mutual hostility of the two great power blocks of the Cold War, such a reading of the encounter was inevitable. But the story can now be retold from a new perspective, stripped of Cold War distortions, a story more nuanced and surprising than could be seen in 1972. The end of the Cold War has allowed access to people and records that reveal the individuals inside the Soviet monolith. White House, State Department, and FBI sources offer remarkable insights on official attitudes to the match and to Fischer. Far from being a simple ideological confrontation, the championship was played out on many levels, of which chess itself was only one. Reykjavik was the setting for a collision of personalities, of moral and legal obligations, of social and political beliefs. However, in large measure, the sheer notoriety of the event was due to the presence of Bobby Fischer, a volatile genius, enthralling and shocking, appealing yet repellent. In 1972, Fischer was still only 29, but he had already been at the summit of international chess for over a decade, and the subject of increasing public fascination since he was a boy. Brooklyn Boy. Fischer wants to enter history alone. Miguel Najdorf. Robert J. Fischer was born to a life of chess at 2:39 p.m. on 9 March 1943 in Chicago. He grew up in a bustling, hustling society that to a great extent saw itself in the image of a Norman Rockwell Saturday Evening Post cover. The self-portrait of Middle America, prosperous, warm-hearted, gainfully employed, family-centered, community-minded. The Fischers' family life would not have made the cover of the Saturday Evening Post. Bobby never knew the person named as his father on his birth certificate, Gerhard, a German biophysicist. His mother, Regina, of Polish-Jewish descent, was a remarkable woman, clever and domineering. As well as Bobby, there was his sister, Joan, older by 5 years, to support. Throughout Bobby's infancy, Regina was constantly short of money, struggling to feed and clothe her children, leading an itinerant existence. However, in those early days of worry, she was nothing if not resourceful. There were jobs to be had. This was boom time for the American worker. Fueled by federal spending on the military, the combination of manufacturing technology and can-do attitude was transforming the nation into the most powerful and productive in history. The U.S. economy had long outperformed Europe's, and now per capita income in America was twice as high as in the most developed of Western European countries, only slowly recovering from World War II despite massive injections of American money. Demobilized troops returned from Europe and the Pacific to full employment, high wages, and record growth, to diners and hot dog stands, to homes with labor-saving machines and Main Street bursting with consumer goods. Television was starting its march through the nation. It was a time of cultural optimism. The soldiers came back to a government under President Truman that was infused with a sense of mission, a determination to contain Soviet expansionist tendencies and to make the world safe for democracy. During the war, Regina had gone from Chicago to Washington, D.C. to visit a Hungarian close friend, Paul Nemenyi, then to Idaho for a few months of study. She majored in chemistry and languages, before taking a job as a stenographer in Oregon, and then as a shipyard welder. After that, the family transferred south to Arizona, where she taught in elementary schools. Then a move east was undertaken so she could study for a master's degree in nursing, and subsequently enter a career as a nurse. They came to rest in Brooklyn, apartment Q, 560 Lincoln Place, small, basic, but habitable. It was in Brooklyn